So now we're inside Ochre Court, and we can see the portrait of Ogden Goulette. As we said, he built this in 1894. He looks very confident sitting there in his painting. Happy, I'm sure, with what he built. But as we said, he's only going to live 3 years, right? Only 3 summers here at Ochre Court. He died by 1897. The property then passes to his son. We've got a painting of his son, Robert. And so for Robert, as time goes by, this cottage is going to become more and more of an issue. What do you do with this big property that costs so much to maintain, costs so much to keep, taxes to be paid? Well, as we said, he's eventually going to decide so that it be a college, so that it can stay in its wonderful form. And in March 1947, the Sisters of Mercy receive it as a gift from him. Well, if you were a freshman in September 1947, one of the 60 students coming here, this would have been your whole campus. So here we are on the first floor of Ochre Court. You would have gone into the chapel. This was the chapel. And as we said, the Goulettes were French. And so they wanted this room to be kind of a mini hall of mirrors, like Versailles Palace with its hall of mirrors. So if you see the mirrors on the walls, this was their little hall of mirrors ballroom. Well, the sisters turned this into a chapel. So if you were a freshman, you would have gone in here for the chapel. And for the library, you would have come into the Goulette's library. And you see the bookcases, right? They would have been filled with thousands of books, and this would have been your library here in 1947. Now notice there's tables and chairs in here, and this room is now set up for classes. For decades, this was strictly an administration building, but now with COVID and its requirements, this room is actually going to be used for classes again. So COVID and social distancing means that Ochre Court is now going to be a classroom building again, just as it was in 1947. So in a strange way, things are coming full circle at the moment. This is the state dining room for the Goulettes. Again, this was an administration meeting room for us for many years, but notice all the tables. Some of you may be in here having a class in the Goulette's state dining room. I want you to look at the fireplaces, these beautiful fireplaces. There's 2 of them, and historians say because this was a summer cottage, the Goulettes never used them. So as far as we know, no wood has ever been burned in these double fireplaces here in the state dining room. So this beautiful room, some of you will be in classes this semester. You can't leave Ochre Court without walking out onto the terrace and just seeing what you would have seen as a freshman here in 1947. This wonderful view of the Atlantic Ocean. Right? The cliff walk is down below, and we've got this wonderful vista in front of us. So if you're in class in one of these Ochre Court rooms, maybe after class you'll be able to take a little stroll out here on the terrace. Well, we looked at what was the old library, the old state dining room, the ballroom that was turned into a chapel, right, that mini hall of mirrors. I said if you were a freshman, your whole life would have been in this building. Well, the cafeteria would have been down in the basement. They also had a smoker, according to the histories. So I guess that was where everyone could smoke in those days. And then upstairs, On the third and fourth floor were the dorms, the student dorms, but also the sisters were living there. So a lot of togetherness here in 1947, 1948, in that first year. But there were only freshmen because the school was just getting started. So there was just a class of freshmen in 1947 here in Ogden Golette's old cottage.